Shalom Tamidim, we are going to learn one of the most important skills, and that is how Hebrew works. How to conjugate, how to decode any Hebrew verb particularly, but you could even apply it to some nouns using the sharashim, the prefixes, and suffixes. This really applies to past tense and future tense. But you also know that if it doesn't fit this pattern, it is most likely present tense. So we're going to see some of these key words now, do some practice, and you're going to be masters before you know it. The first thing to understand is the concept of sharashim. Sharashim literally means roots, and it's the key part of the word. Almost every Hebrew word has a sharash. There are usually 3 letters. Sometimes there are 2, and they have a basic meaning, and any word using that sharash is somehow related to each other. Depending on how the sharash is arranged, depending on what other letters are there before and after the word, sometimes in the middle of the word, the meaning of the word will change. So, for example, the sharash of shin, lamed, chet means send. Now, shalach means he sent. Shalcha means she sent, the difference with the hey there. Sholeach is he's currently sending. Throw a suffix, the end part of it, t, shlachti, I sent it. Nishlach now becomes it was sent because it uses a different type of tense, it's called. We're not going to get into that today. Coming attractions. And a shaliach is now a noun. It's a messenger. It's the person that is sending something or being sent to do something. So all of these are different words. They mean different things, but they're related to the concept of sending. Another example of this is achal, aleph, chaf, lamed, which means ate, or something related to food. So achal is he ate, achla is she ate. Again, the hey versus no hey. Ochel is he is eating, achelet, ochelet is she is eating. Machal is food, right? It becomes the noun of the thing that is being eaten. Nechal was eaten. Achalti is I ate. Nechalti is I was eaten. Hopefully you're never using that phrase, but just in case, you know how to say it. Now, one of the consistent things is what the prefixes and suffixes mean. And every single time you see a shoresh with a prefix, the word that comes before the word, you will know who is doing it just by looking at that word. A verb, this works for. A noun is a little more complicated. A prefix usually makes a verb future. So if it's happening in the beginning of the word, the prefix is there at the beginning, it means it's in the future. There are some exceptions in the Torah, which we'll talk about in a little while. But in general, a prefix means it's the future word. A vav at the beginning of the word, for the record, is not a prefix, and it means end. We'll see what the prefixes actually are. The prefixes that you can be using are aleph, which means first person, I will. Yud is third person, which means someone else is doing it. He will. A yud and then a vav at the end, so it's yah, the shoresh, and u, yachlu, would mean they will. The u tells me is more than one person. Taf at the beginning could mean one of 2 things. It could mean second person, you, for a male, or it can mean third person, she, for a female. Have to use context to figure that out. And if it's tough and then the u at the end of it, like tochlu, then it'll be you all will, or my preferred way of saying it, y'all will. Tough at the beginning and yud at the end is she will, or you will for a female, so you will when you're talking to a female, and nun at the beginning is we will. The opposite of a prefix is a suffix, and that's when it comes at the end of the word. The end of the word usually means it's past tense, it happened in the past. There are exceptions in the Torah, we'll talk about that again in a little bit. And a vav at the beginning is still not that. The list of suffixes is ending with t, which means I did it. Ta, which means you did it if you're talking to a male or a boy. T, which means you did it talking to a girl. If there is no suffix, it's just the 3 letters of the shoresh, it means he did it. And a hey or ta at the end means she did it. U at the end without the prefix means they did it. Nu at the end means we did it. Tem at the end means y'all did it. And tan is y'all did it for girls. Tem is all boys or mixed. Tan is just girls. For most shorashim, all these words are very, very consistent and they always apply. However, there are some letters in the shoresh that have an exception to the rule. These are called yona letters, or if you rearrange them, honey letters, or if you rearrange them, I don't know, make up whatever you want to. Yona letters are easy because you can remember that they fly away. For various rules of grammar, they can sometimes get dropped from the word, which means even though they're part of the shoresh, they're not going to be there. If you don't see the 3 clear letters of the shoresh, chances are one of these 4 is missing, and that means the shoresh is really there, but that letter is not. So you're looking for 2 letters when you're identifying what the prefix and the suffix is and what the shoresh is. So you have to keep that in mind. Is this one of the letters possible to show up? It might not be there if it is. There's one last rule to keep in mind, and that is called vav hahipuch, which is also called magic vav. In the Chumash and Tanakh, a vav at the beginning of the word can mean and usually does mean and, but it can also swap the tense. It can make a future tense word past tense and a past tense word future tense. So if you see a vav at the end, is a good chance that whatever the conjugation or the full meaning of that word would be is backwards. So it said va'achalti, it would mean I will eat, because it should mean and I ate, but it's switching it, so I will eat. Or va'achal means I ate, because it should mean and I will eat, but it's swapping it to be past tense. We are going to do some practice with these rules shortly, but these are what can help you really, really, really master Hebrew and understand anything just by finding the shorashim as opposed to having to define the whole word, because you know the rules of how all of Hebrew works. So let's take a look at that and practice it now.